All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Misfit Corner Comics Presents. This is the artist Andrew speaking, and tonight I am live streaming again, and I have my good buddy Jason with me.
Howdy.
Hello, hello. And we're just going to be talking stuff while I draw, getting everything set up. Oh, there we go. I have not hit the record button yet, but I will shortly. But I wanted to share with everybody some of the things I picked up this week. Tuesday is the day new movies come out. Wednesday is the day new comics come out. So I usually have picked up something by Wednesday. And I wanted to show you guys some of the stuff I got, including, check out this wonderful, I already showed this to Jason, but check out this wonderful brickhead that I found at a Target on clearance. It's the Joker from the first set of brickheads, number 4 in the set, for $3.48. So you know I'm cracking this sucker open and putting it together. And let's see, comic-wise, let me show you what I got. I got Batman White Knight number 8, which I read it already. I'm going to do a review of it later. It was gorgeous. It was great. They set it up for another series, so I can't wait if they actually do jump back into this. One of the things that Avery and I noticed and we kind of joked about is the fact that the title White Knight had Harley Quinn's diamonds in the title, and you kind of figure out exactly why that is in this issue. Actually, it was hinted to in previous issues, but you'll see. I'm not going to spoil it unless you want me to. Let's see what else we got. Venom number 1, the new Donny Cates, Ryan Stegman drawn issue. They had a blank cover, so yeah, there's a digital code in there somewhere for you. The one I did not pick up was Deadpool number 300, which had a blank sketch cover. They wanted $5.99 for that sucker, and I don't care about Deadpool. I really don't. Avery was considering picking it up just to do a sketch on because Deadpool sells for him, where me, not really. We got Oblivion Song number 3. I still have number 2. I've already read it. I still haven't done the review of it yet, but now I've got number 3. Isola number 2, which is absolutely gorgeous. I got some issues with some of the storytelling, some of the dialogue, but I'll talk about that in my review. But gorgeous, gorgeous book. And last but not least, another blank cover. This one from DC for Justice League No Justice number 1, which I love this thing. This thing was great. You got Francis Manapul on art and drawing all these different characters, some really nice splash pages. I'm looking forward to doing the review of this. So we got these comics, 5 new comics to add to my stack that I have yet to touch. But let's get into the good stuff, the stuff that I know Jason really cares a lot about.
What? There's more?
Steelbook cases. I picked up Batman Ninja. Yeah, oh yeah. And I picked this one up because I love the art. I like the animation. I can't wait to review it. But
where'd you pick it up from?
I picked it up at Target. It was also available at Best Buy, but I went ahead and picked it up at Target because I had $10 in Target gift cards. So I got it for $10, so well worth it.
You knew the Best Buy one had a exclusive poster.
Yeah, I didn't care. Okay. I didn't care. Where am I going to put a poster,
I've heard great reviews about it, by the way.
Okay.
Looking forward to watching it as well.
Cool. Yeah, me too. And then, of course, 50 Shades Free. The third in this. I have the first Steelbook case for movies 1 and 2. I have not watched the second movie yet. So I've got to actually watch it before I watch the third. But that review will be coming up soon. This is a gorgeous case. I'm not going to reveal too much more about it because, but yes.
When you review it, break out the other 2. That way we can see.
I will. Actually, I did the third Maze Runner Steelbook case review. I did the video for it, and I went ahead and went back and reviewed movies 1, 2, and 3. Did all 3 Steelbook cases. I did the third Maze Runner Steelbook case review. There's the professionalism right out the window, right? But yeah, that video will actually drop tomorrow. That'll be one of my backup videos for tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see. But just checking around, seeing I need to get to back work on Hero, but trying to remember if I have something specific I need to do, or if I can just screw around and do designs. It's one of those things where doing layouts and all is really easy to do because you can just screw around and do stuff. But
Sure.
if I actually have a page I have to complete, that's a different story.
No splash art plans or anything like that?
I do have a double page splash that I'll be working on, but I'm working on page 77 right now. It was supposed to be pages 78 and 79, but I added 2 additional pages, so now it's 80 and 81. So I actually have to finish the page I'm working on, plus 2 more story pages before I hit the splash page. So it'll be at least next week before I start on the splash page. But it's a double splash. It's just a city scene, a closer up version of the city scene, which is going to take a lot of technical things to it. So that's what those architectural drawing layouts I was doing early was building up to what I'm going to be working on then. But I think I do have something I could do. Screw it. I'm just going to draw characters today. I'm just going to have a good time drawing characters while we chit chat and talk. I'm going to hit
Yep, hit the record button.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got it. You got it before me. All right.
Got your back.
You're cool. I did another.
I'm earning my paycheck.
Yes, that's right. You're earning your paycheck. I did another how-to draw video today. I did the 4th in my series. I'll actually be posting that tomorrow. I'm sure you've been watching them closely, learning how to draw. I have not.
Hey, so as you record, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're only recording what you're displaying, right? You don't pop up my image. That only happens in YouTube, right?
That only happens in the Hangout, yeah. The video that I'm recording that I will make into a speed drawing tomorrow is just my screen.
I mean, I don't know if you could just set it so that YouTube doesn't show my...
Oh, I could, but, it's... screw it. I just make a separate video.
Well, for the live folks that are out there watching, all 2 of them.
Yeah. Well, that's you and me.
That's what I mean.
Hey, there's going to come a day where we're going to actually get real people in here, but it happened once, We had some outsiders that chimed in, and I thought that was really cool, but...
Hey, there's 3 watching, and that, I'm only got 1 device open.
Okay, well... I'm watching 2 in case...
You're at 59 subscribers. Nice.
Yeah. All right. I'm just looking for some reference real quick because I'm actually gonna work on 2 characters that well, what I was saying about the drawing videos is I'm really like doing them, but I haven't hit my groove yet. I haven't hit the format or the style in which it actually makes sense. So I'm gonna keep screwing with them, keep making movies, and hopefully they'll get better. Because I know you've been paying attention to all of them and following along with all of them, so you're aware of what I've been doing. And right? Am I right?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking.
I don't watch everything. I watch mostly everything.
Okay, well.
I know my brother looks out for your Toys R Us videos, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Has he? Well, I know he's used at least one of them in order to go and take advantage of some stuff.
Well, yeah, it was because I told him about when you saw the that one poly bag or mini bag, the Batmobile.
Yep.
Yep.
Which I figured I could go back and get, and it didn't happen. I did make another video from last week, but I don't think I edited it. Did I edit it and post it? I don't remember if I did or not. We had gone by the store and they had lowered more prices. And they lowered action figures were now down to 30% from 20%. Mm-hmm. Legos were still 10%. And because those are really the only things we're looking at. And
well,
they were doing a special sale where certain things were an extra 10% off. But there were exclusions, and the exclusions were like building blocks and Legos and all. But Mega Bloks was down to 20%. But Legos were still only at 10%. And Mike and I, there's stuff we want to get, and there's one particular big set that he wants that he wants at least 20% off before he picks it up.
My request would be swing by the Funko Pops and see if there's anything.
They still have tons of. Oh, and they consider those action figures, so they're currently at 20% off.
Well, so with the obviously Toys R Us no longer has exclusives, but if they still had any exclusives, I don't know if they're worth getting. Like there's like Teen Groot from Infinity War that was a exclusive from them.
Oh, you know what they did have? They had a huge stack of their exclusive Star Wars Blacks pack, where it was Admiral Akbar.
I remember you showed that. Yep.
Yeah, they've got huge stacks of those.
Yeah, but that one's not cool. It's dare I say, it's a trap.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear about my new YouTube channel?
Yep.
It's a scam, and it's supposed to be like it's a trap. That's the idea. But it was so I could separate those videos, which I like doing those videos as well, from my main channel, which is probably something I should have done much earlier on, but oh well.
Oh yeah, here's something. I don't know if it's on your radar, but something to talk about for Friday. Supposedly the new trailer for Predator comes out tomorrow. So
that might be very cool. This is who's directing this one?
I don't know.
No.
It just says new trailer. That's it. Just going through my Facebook feed, just seeing what's the headlines.
Okay. I figured you would know.
That's one of those ones where, I'll watch it when it comes out. It may not be an opening night kind of thing. I had an interesting experience watching Predators in the movie theater, but it's not work type of discussion. So we'll just leave it like that.
Well, Avery's not on, so I can assume that this live stream is going to be PG. Such a bad boy. Such a bad boy.
Marvel's free Comic Day comics are available online now. I haven't checked my digital app yet. I better see if they're there.
I was joking with the store owner. I said, so all the free comics are now $1.50. He said, "Yep, that's right."
Well, so they had that DC Nation Zero.
Yep.
That was supposed to be free, but it also had a price tag of 25 cents. But
I bought it on Wednesday for 25 cents, and then he had enough of them that he was giving them away for free. So I went ahead and bought
it was free online.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you actually paid 25 cents? That's a tragedy.
Yeah, I didn't mind. Well, he even though I don't have a pull with him, every now and then he'll give me the pull discount, which is like 15%. Today, when I bought my 5 comics, he gave me the free comic book day discount of 20% off. So,
Nice.
yeah, I mean, he's a good guy.
Well, you should, does he have a website? You should plug his website on the.
He does have a YouTube channel. House of Comics has a YouTube channel. You guys should check it out. He puts a on Tuesday evenings. He does a quick Wednesday preview of the comics coming out, and then he'll do staff picks on Wednesday. Pick the ones that he thinks people might be interested the most, and
he's got enough people to consider having a staff.
He's got people. Yeah, he's got people. Well, it's very much a.
With the comic book store was you and I. Were we considered staff, or we were assistant managers? Remember that?
We were assistant managers, man.
Yeah,
damn straight.
We had no one under us. We had no lackeys.
Well, do you remember that I went back to work for them, and the person who was working there was kind of my superior at that point, and I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna work. That's why I didn't last very long the second time, but Dave's a good guy, but no, he wasn't gonna be my superior. I don't like that face. I don't like how that came out. I'm gonna have to play around with it some. Actually, he reached out to me the other day. Well, yeah, that was it. If he's out there listening to this video, I'll call him when I get a chance tomorrow. But he called me while we were at the movie. It's like, I am not answering this call while I'm at the movie. So
yeah, there's kind of lines there. No matter who it is, it's like, I'm at the theater.
No, if it was my wife, I would excuse myself and go out and answer the phone. But nope, anybody else is. Where is my brush pen? Oh well, I guess I'm just gonna use this.
What I'm hoping to see is if IDW puts their free comic book day stuff on Comixology. So you didn't pick up No Justice #1?
Yeah, I picked that up.
Oh, did you mention it?
Yeah, it was the blank sketch cover.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Francis Manipul. Yeah, Francis Manipul art. It was beautiful. See, and I've got the original cover underneath, which is very cool.
It's just a shame that DC doesn't give a digital code. At least
yeah,
not in the same way.
You could go and buy it if you like.
I'm eventually gonna get it. It's just how much.
Well, I think it's a. Yeah. It's a weekly series, right?
Yeah, it's only 4 issues. I mean, it's not. And then it paves the way for a new Justice League #1.
Right.
And I tend to follow all the Justice League stuff, but, I kind of wait till there's a sale of some sort and I buy them. So. I did follow, was it Dark Knight's Metal? That one I definitely picked up.
No, I missed out on that one. That one and Mr. Miracle. I missed the first few issues, so I kind of gave up on it. I figured I'm going to get them in trade anyway when they come out. But the one that I have been picking up that I really enjoyed, other than Doomsday Clock. Doomsday Clock, if you're not picking that up, you're just silly. But
the new one, right? Not Doomsday, not Doom, right? Not Doomed.
Yeah, no. The Doomsday Clock, the DC Comics Watchmen sequel.
Oh, Doomsday Clock. Yes, I'm sorry. I forgot
yes.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely reading that.
Yeah. Well, the other one I picked up was Batman White Knight, which just wrapped up.
Yep, I remember it. Yeah.
That was a good one.
There's a new Fraggle Rock issue that came out today.
Ooh, well, I'm sure you jumped all over that, right?
No.
No? Why not?
No. Ooh, Star Wars Lost Stars. This is the manga version of this. That's interesting.
One of the free comic book day issues was from some company. I have no idea who it was. but it was a Ghost in the Shell comic.
Mm-hmm.
It was, but it wasn't the manga type art. Is like modern art, and it was okay art, but for the subject, Ghost in the Shell, it was bad. It was really bad, and
Well,
he had a lot of those left over. Those
did you
some of the ones
watch the original, and did you watch the Scarlett Johansson one?
I have honestly have never seen the original anime, at least not in its entirety. I have never seen the whole thing.
So I think I watched it a long time ago because I actually still have that on VHS around here, right?
Yeah.
And then I bought it for $5 off iTunes so I can watch it before, the movie came out in theaters. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It did not hold my attention.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. I appreciate anime, but just like any movie, if it's dated, it's like when I watched the original Blade Runner, for example. It would have been great at its time, but the pacing was like, my attention span couldn't handle it.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's just how I am or whatever, but I was like, okay, well, moving on. But yeah, I felt that way about Ghost of Shell, and I have not seen the what do you call it, the Scarlett Johansson one yet.
Really? I actually liked it. I mean, it was pretty. There were some issues with some of the technical stuff. There was a lot of it that was super, super, super clean. Mm-hmm. And that distracts you when you're trying to think of something gritty, happening. And it's okay. I enjoyed it. I got it in the Steelbook case. I got it in the original release Steelbook case because they've re-released it with that new cover, which honestly I didn't really care for, but I already had it, so I was happy with that. Who is blowing up my phone? Oh, it's my sister. Oh, well. Yeah, my mom saw the picture of me in the tie and sent me a message. Did you get the job? And I'm like, no, mother, that was just the interview, please. I said, I told her, I said, I'll be honest with you, Mom, you'll be like the third person I tell. And she laughed. She's like, yeah, it sounds about right. These are two characters. It's a fox. I could make a really funny joke and say it's a fox and a hound because this person is a dog, but they're both female.
I mean, so what's up with? I mean, I know you're positioning them like that, but why is the one in front is like jacking up all the screen space? It's like
because there's a panel in one of the coming pages where you're focusing in on her, and the dog character is like standing behind her, like in like a guarding type of pose. So she's not as she's dominating, but she's not the primary focus of the screen. Hero's talking to this character, and this character's kind of like just looming overhead. So that's kind of the reason why. I could have moved her.
Cameraman couldn't get a good angle. Come on, man.
Yeah, I know. Well, this character isn't the focus of this particular panel, and she should actually be talking. Her mouth should be open, but I didn't do that. But like I said, I'm just sketching. Just sketching, man. Just sketching.
I didn't. I'm looking at it out of context, is what you're saying.
Well, see, I'm drawing it to drawing it, but I do have future plans for it. I never explained that part of it, so this may actually end up being a panel for a page in the future, but I'm working on the characters. But no, well. Yeah, when I'm done live streaming tonight, I'm going right to bed because my butt's got to get up at 2 a.m. I asked my boss, I said, why are we coming in? Because I went in at 3 a.m. on Tuesday, and he asked me to come in at 3 a.m. on Thursday. And I asked him, I said, so what's happening? He said, for you, nothing. For you, you're just doing your job. For me, they're redoing like an entire aisle of stuff. And if you can imagine how extremely tedious that is, taking everything off, realigning all the shelves, putting it all back on, it's something that they need to do before the store opens, so would they need an extra hour worth of doing it? So I don't have to do that. I get to do my normal job. But he figured, if he's going to be there an hour early, might as well get me in an hour early. Yeah, it's an extra hour. It's a little bit more money. All right, now what do I want to draw? Oh, what do I want to draw?
Can I talk to you about video games while you're thinking about what to draw?
Sure.
You into any of that? I know you don't play a lot, right? So
yeah, no, you want to know where that actually goes back to?
Having a life?
No. It goes back to when I first got married. Jennifer made a deal with me, and she said, I will buy you any gaming system you want. Whatever you want. If you want a PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, well, back then it probably was just a PlayStation, was the big thing. But she said, you get your associate's degree from college first, and I'll buy you any game system you want. Well, of course, I never finished my associate's degree stuff. So in my mind, I have not earned the gaming system. Now, of course, my son has got his associate's degree. He's got a PlayStation 4, 360. He's got all that stuff because he's got his own money. He can buy his own damn things. And he always invites me to play with him. And I'm like, if you got a good fighting game, I'll play with you. But I'm not playing these role-playing, these walk around and try to beat things. I'm not interested in those at all. And he's not a big fan of the fighting games, but he has bought some specifically because I said, hey, I'll play that game with you. And Naruto doesn't count as a fighting game. That's a story game. But he bought, like, they did a Mortal Kombat one or a Street Fighter one, like one of these last Christmases or Black Fridays, and he picked that up. And we just haven't gotten around to playing it. And he's so much better with the controls, kicks my butt no matter what we play. So kind of takes some of the enjoyment out of it. But I don't mind playing. I like playing video games. I just can't do it for long periods of time. So tell me about game review.
It's not so much game review. It's that idea of like Pug B, I think, Pete, and then Fortnite. Those are like the new in games that people are playing.
I have heard of Fortnite. I've heard about people playing that, but I don't know anything really about it.
So, and people could chime in if there's anyone listening and want to correct us, but it's almost like it's a free for all, right? You get dropped in the world, and it's a last man standing kind of thing. At least Pug B is like that. Fortnite is a similar concept, but you are able to create fortifications, right?
Okay.
But you get dropped in the world, and you got to, last man standing, fight for resources, build resources. But I think Fortnite recently introduced this version where Thanos is in the world.
Oh, yeah?
This is the comic-related part of it, of the conversation, right? And is Thanos as powerful as he is in the comic? Yeah. Or in the movie? Yes. So
does he have the Infinity Gauntlet, or?
I think just the strength. I don't know if he's actually using the gauntlet per se, but Thanos just being a badass himself, right?
Yeah.
So it's wondering this. So I don't think it's spoiler warning, but first scene in Avengers: Infinity War, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that time, he only has one of the stones, right? The ether, right? And he's battling the Hulk, right?
Yep.
And he's able to defeat the Hulk. Now, is that with the one stone and he's powered up, or is he just that strong to defeat the Hulk?
I think he's just that strong.
So that being said, in the video game, it's just Thanos being a badass.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that I'm seeing videos of that on some of the social media feeds and GIFs or memes like Thanos kicking ass and et cetera, et cetera. I'm like, okay, but as a game genre, that does not necessarily appeal to me. So I know people that do enjoy it though.
Okay.
Yeah, probably Mike might know, but I don't might know more about it than any of us.
I don't think he doesn't like to do online gaming.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
and I think that's because of his internet signal back in the room where he's got all of his stuff set up is not that great. So I think I know he goes online to get updates and stuff like that, but I don't think he actually plays online. Because I know when a new game comes out, I say, "Ooh, that game looks interesting." He goes, "Oh, it's an online only game. It's not for me." I said, "Okay."
Hmm.
But he's probably familiar with it. I mean, he stays up to date with all that stuff. I kind of told him, I said, "You can be our video game expert guy," and he's like, "Nah, I'm not really that into it or that confident in it."
Well, it's just one of the things where video games, just like anything, right? It's like we're talking comics, right? But I don't think any one of us knows too much about a lot of the indie stuff. I mean, I know you do. I mean, you're catching up on it, but there's some indie stuff that's just not on our radars,
Right,
right?
right,
So it's oh yeah, I'm a book reviewer. I don't read every book that comes out. I'm a comic reviewer. I don't read every comic.
right, right.
Movies, we kind of get most of the movies, but I don't think there's some. Um, I just saw the commercial, and it actually looks interesting because I'm a fan, at least fan from afar from these lady actresses. But you know how they have like a couple years ago they had this movie called Las Vegas. It had
Mm-hmm.
Ian Freeman. It had what's his name, Michael Douglas,
Yeah,
Kevin Kline,
that
right?
was the movie that I said that is me, Todd, Avery, and Romel in our older years, because one of them was like a hermit, which was Avery. One of them was the family guy, which is me. One of them was the rich guy that's getting married, that would be Todd, and then one of them was the black guy, which is Romel.
Wait, but is the Hermit also the boxing guy, like De
Uh,
Niro?
De Niro, yeah,
And you say that's Avery?
that's Avery, yes.
Okay, it's a stretch, I guess.
Yeah, well, I also said Todd was the rich guy and successful guy, so who was marrying the younger woman and all. Well, he's now a
And,
family
and did you
man,
just
so
typecast, Rommel?
it's very easy to do.
So there's a ladies' version of that movie coming out.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's kind of that movie. And you did watch Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was
So
funny.
the
Yeah.
the love interest at the very end, right? I forget
Mm-hmm.
her. I forget her name, but that's Claire from Back to Future 3.
Oh, okay.
If you remember,
Yeah,
Doc
yeah,
Brown's girl, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Of course, she's a lot older now. Cause
For an old lady,
that's
she's probably still sexy, right?
yeah. No, and I'd watch it just because of her.
When you started to say a ladies' movie, I really thought you were going to start talking about Ocean's 8.
No, no. So I mean, I'm
And
gonna
only because we saw a trailer for that in front of Avengers did it
yeah.
remind me of that.
I'd watch it if it was on TV, right? You know, I not. I mean, yeah, it has Rihanna, sure. It has, yeah, it has, yeah. It's I don't know. I didn't watch Ocean's 11, 12, 13. So
No?
I think Ocean's 11. I've always seen like the last part, not the beginning of it. You know.
Ocean's 11 was good. Ocean's 12 was very confusing. And Ocean's 13, they literally were just making fun of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene in which um, what's her name? Is it Julia Roberts?
Yep.
Yeah. She actually goes into like a jewelry store and she pretends to be Julia Roberts, and they're like, "Oh, it's Julia Roberts." And they're all fawning over her, and um, Bruce Willis is there, and he's convinced it's her, and all this other stuff, and he's playing himself, and she's pretending to be herself, but not herself. It's these people, they're so full of themselves. But There were parts that were funny. But 2 was just confusing as heck. And what am I trying to do with these fingers?
That's what she said? No.
Trying to design a character who will be making an appearance in the book. Very briefly, but he's a typical... I am playing completely to typecast with this character. And you'll understand what I mean when you get the book and you read it. He's one of these characters, as soon as you see him, you go, oh, he's got to be a bad guy. He's got to be a bad guy. Well, yeah, he is.
Just by the pose, yeah, because he's not praying.
No. But he's like an advisor to the queen. And you know immediately, as soon as you see him, I mean, there's that phrase, talking down, where they say, and we try not to do that with a hero, not trying to talk down to children, to the kids reading it. But there are some things where I'm not talking down to them. I'm just being blatantly obvious. Mm-hmm. And it's because I know the audience, and I don't want to introduce a character and then reveal that they're a bad guy and have you go, which is actually something I did in the second book, and then have you go, wait a minute, I didn't see that coming. That was kind of mean. This guy, it's kind of obvious, and I'm doing that on purpose, because in the second book, I pulled a this guy's a bad guy and you really didn't see it coming type of thing, but I needed it to be that way. But now that people know that rats and mice are not good people, they're working for the bad guy. Pretty much anyone they come across, there may be an exception, maybe not, I don't know, are bad. Maybe I'm stereotyping, and I'm stereotyping my animal characters, but that's something that's going to happen. But this guy is supposed to be an advisor to the queen, and he's not really advising her well. And Hero helps her see that very quickly. So Mike had to work tonight till 6. On his way home, he said, hey, I told him I'd wait for him and we could do dinner. And he was running later getting home. And he says, hey, you want me to stop off and get some calzones? So he got me these nice, big, huge, thick, fat pepperoni calzones. And
that sounds yummy.
Yeah, but he brought them home like right before I was supposed to live stream. So they're still sitting right next to me, and they need to be eaten because they look so good.
You got a toaster oven? Warm it up in there.
Oh, he nuked them, and they're fine.
Nuke them. Toaster oven's the way to cook.
Yeah.
Even I'm like preparing my leftover Chinese fried rice. Nuke it in the toaster oven.
Nuke it in the toaster oven.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a song. Somebody sings that song.
Probably. If not, we can trademark it.
So the cool thing about my live streams, when I was telling Avery about this, and he hasn't really adopted this as a business plan yet, is that while I'm drawing, I'm recording the video, and then I use that video to make a video for the next day. And this particular one, it may end up being 2 videos. I may end up making 1 video, but it allows me to kind of multitask in the fact that I'm live streaming, I'm sticking to a schedule. Oh yeah, he also thought I was crazy to be live streaming, like knowing my work schedule for tomorrow. And I told him, I says, listen, I've got a schedule and I'm trying to stick to it. This is actually my 32nd live stream. And other than that one that I missed on Monday and had to push it to Tuesday, I have maintained 3 live streams per week, which means this will be, at the end of this week, it'll be my 11th week of doing 3 a day, or 3 a week. And I just want to, you get on a schedule and you want to maintain, you know? And that's what I'm trying to do here. And I think people in the long run will appreciate that, you know? People that follow me will eventually, you know, realize, hey, he's doing this on these, and that's the day to check it out. That's the day to chime in and ask questions and see what's new and see what's going on. And
Yep, it's not just the recording.
that's right. But then again, I use the video to make art videos for the next day. So if you really don't want to listen to me talk because, you know, oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to check the control panel and make sure all of our volumes were turned up. Ah!
Why? Is it possible they can't hear us?
Well,
No,
we heard it on the video earlier, so
yeah, we did.
yeah, so.
And that's my iPad was on full volume.
All of our volumes were turned up. Hold on a second. I'm listening to it.
Why?
No, you're really light, but you can still hear you. So now I turned up your volume, so you should be okay. But
well, I am working on, you know, getting some more sun, so I will be a little more darker instead of lighter.
oh, okay.
Oh wait, that's not what you meant.
So this guy definitely looks evil, doesn't he? I need to stylize his head and his face a little bit more, but I'll work on that later. But he's a rat. He's a rat. And he knows it.
Does he know how to cook? Do you know anyone can cook?
Does he or do I?
Yes. No, the rat. Do you not get the reference?
No, I don't get the reference. What are you talking about?
Ratatouille.
Oh my God.
I mean, oh my God. Pixar. Hello.
Yeah, I know. You know what's sad? I don't own that movie.
That's sad.
Yeah.
But that was before Steelbook, so I can understand too.
Yeah, if Disney wants to go and re-release all of its movies, especially the Pixar and animated movies in Steelbook cases, I will buy every single one of them. I had a cousin that worked for Disney, and I told her that, and she goes, "Well, I don't make those kind of decisions." And I said, "Well,
it's not the same cousin you know."
No. Well, maybe it was a cousin's friend that. Shit, now I don't remember. Oh crap! I cussed on my own thing. Ah crap! I was trying really hard not to cuss on my live streams because you never know, kids might be watching.
And I wasn't prompting you to cuss or curse, you know.
Yeah, I know.
That's you. That's all on you.
Yep, I know. Well, I took the live stream video from last week and I edited out me keying in my PIN code onto my phone, but I didn't go through and edit out, you know, any of the bad language we used, and I probably should have, but oh well.
Yeah, there's time and place for bad language, but usually it involves like drinking at a bar or, you know, playing sports or something like that.
Are you telling me you're not drinking right now?
No, not. I don't drink. I don't drink at home. I think it's kind of pitiful if I'm drinking at home by myself, you know?
No, I understand.
I'd rather drink with company. So, yeah, you want to hear some latest social news?
Social news? Okay.
So I somehow connected with this one lady friend.
Mm-hmm.
But actually wasn't a friend. It's kind of an acquaintance, right? She was trying to be more than a friend. But somehow we got into talking, and she said what her preferences were. You know?
For what?
Just say her preferences.
Okay.
Compatibility preferences. That's a good way of talking about it, right?
Compatibility preferences. Okay.
And I'm just not going to, you know, I'm not going to meet those standards. quite frankly. Yeah.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, that's the end of it. She even said, well, I guess there's nothing for us to talk about. Well, she quote unquote stalked me, right?
Yeah.
She found my professional Twitter account. When she tweeted to me, not direct messaged me, but tweeted to me, and she posted her phone number to the world. Crazy.
Why would she do that?
I don't know. So, anyways, we're going on a road trip together this weekend.
You don't think she's a little psycho?
I'm the one driving, so she may not come back.
Oh, that's so sad.
That would be sad. She's not one insisting to meet beforehand. I haven't met her in person yet. We talked on the phone, I think, once, maybe. And then I'm picking her up, so I also now have her home address.
Man, the dating scene has just got to be a crazy thing nowadays.
Well, let's put it in context. I'm a couple years older than you, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about dating in our 40s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aside from myself, who's single but divorced, right?
Right.
More often than not, you're dating someone possibly with kids.
Right.
And it's just a matter of math. It's possible if I'm dating someone in their mid-40s to late 40s, they could have grandkids.
Yeah.
It's just the math, right? It's not disrespect. Oh, you're dating a granny. I'm like, well, yeah, because she had a kid and that kid had a kid. That's just life, right?
No.
So, there's challenges with dating someone with young children because they got to get a sitter, right? If it's shared custody, it's like, oh, I got my kids this weekend and he's got them next weekend and yada yada yada.
Heaven forbid.
But what's interesting, so she's interested in going on a road trip.
Where y'all going?
Chattanooga. Gonna catch the Cirque du Soleil show.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna go on my own anyway. So let's face it. I was gonna get my ticket for myself. I was gonna drive up myself, take the time, right? What I lose out on, if I really want to say lose out on, I'm not gonna be able to listen to my audiobooks. So no big deal. But I'm gonna have the company of actually a very attractive lady. So I wouldn't say she's, I might even say she's kind of like out of my league type of lady. Maybe. Or I might be selling myself short, but no pun intended. But, yeah. So we'll see. I think the worst case scenario is just, okay, it's a friend thing. But and that's the thing. I already know coming in, I'm already friend zoned. So I have no expectations other than hoping to have a good time. But
well, I guess this would probably define the parameters. But did she pay for her own ticket, or are you paying for the tickets for both of you?
So I haven't bought tickets yet. We're gonna go there to buy them.
Ah.
So we'll see. But if I got her ticket, I'm okay this time. I would hope that maybe she, pays for dinner or something like that. And I think she's well off. She's got 3 kids. She's, I think, either assistant principal to a school.
Okay.
So lives in a very nice part of town.
Okay.
So we'll see. I don't know if she knows that I drive a Camaro.
Maybe she saw that on Twitter and decided, ooh, maybe I should give him a shot.
Dude, so that's the thing, right? So you're looking at my image here. That's what I use here. But my professional account is strictly professional. It's all about the technical connections there.
Gotcha.
I separate that. Then I have a private account, which is totally off the radar.
Right. Very interesting.
Yep. So, I think I will be available Friday. It's possible that I'm not.
Okay.
I will have to give you the 411 on Monday.
Well, I told Avery what I'm planning on doing is for my live streams, I'm just going to do a Google Hangout, and if anybody chimes in and wants to join, more the merrier. If nobody joins, it's just a regular old, live stream. It's hey, I don't mind having company. I don't mind having people talk to, but I don't need y'all. I can talk to myself. Did I tell you about the one question in the interview at the very end?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I just thought that was a really funny story. Just because of the simple fact that it was the only question that was asked that my first immediate brain fart thought was, oh crap, I need to make up something and come up with something good. And then it ended up not happening.
Do you remember enough of the question to write it down and then have an answer for it in the future?
The word that threw me was analytics, which I understand what the word means and I understand what context they're using, but I just wasn't thinking on my feet as quick. I was already tired. I mean, we were already, this was supposed to be. It was supposed to go from 11:30 or 11. What was it? 11:30 to 1:30. It was supposed to be a 2-hour thing, and it was already 2:00. So we were already going on 2.5 hours, and I was doing a lot of talking because I can talk. I can talk your ear off. I can make stuff up. I can tell you a story. I think Mike just came by to kind of remind me it's almost 8:30. So
your calzone is calling you.
It is, but my bed's calling me too because you know what? Some of us got to get up early and go to work.
Got to pay the bills somehow.
Yeah. Well, Avery, I think he's working tomorrow too, but he's coming in at 4, and he actually is scheduled later than me. So at 8:00, my ass is gone, and he still has to stay. So they've got this really weird. They've got this really weird schedule going on right now with the two of us, and I mean I don't mind, but it's getting difficult for him because of getting the right sleep schedule, and I'm just having to, just roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't get the rest during the day, then I just deal with it. All right, what do you think of my guy? I'm trying to clean him up a little bit more. I
actually didn't think it was a rat the first time you were drawing it.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of got wolf characteristics to it.
Yep.
That's why I said I need to, and I can see that, and that's why I'm thinking I need to do a little bit more.
It's kind of have that granny wolf, with Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. Yeah.
Like,
But the character's supposed to be a rat, so I'll have to work on stylizing him a little bit better so it looks more like a rat. So I think rats have more, like I've drawn this very angular, an angular jowl. They've got more of a circular, smaller jowl. You got a nose here. And it's...
Maybe have the tail more prominent in the,
No.
somehow. Because if you saw that tail, because the rat's tail is as big as his body, right?
Yeah.
So that's your giveaway. That's your tell that it's not a wolf.
Right. I wonder if he would be caressing his tail. That's almost kind of, like instead of having his hands together folded like this, he's actually like his tail has come up around his neck, and he's holding on to it almost like it's something he knows if he screws up, somebody's going to cut it off. Maybe. I don't know. That might be adding too much to the character. He's not going to be on screen very long. He gets introduced, he gets revealed, and then he goes away. He may show up in the backup story though, because we already planned out what there's actually like 2 or 3 backup stories in this volume, because we have to finish off some of the threads that we created in this story, and he may come back, and excuse me, he may be a bad guy that we see later on in the future. So we'll have to see. Actually, one of the things I told Mike is that one of my plans for the arch of the book is that every character that we introduce in this series...
Arch?
Arc. I didn't say arch. I said arc.
You said arch.
Story arc.
All right.
Rewatch the video. I said arc.
You rewatch it, and I bet you hear you say arch.
All right, maybe I did say arch. I don't know. But I meant to say arc. But in every book, we're going to introduce all these new different characters. And at the end storyline, we plan to bring everybody back. Even characters who were just mentioned or maybe only viewed like one time in one panel. We're going to bring back like almost everybody. And I have this idea for this big, huge thing, and everybody's there. And even people who in the story are kind of bad guys, but they're not really bad guys. For example, did you read book 2? Did you flip through book 2?
No.
Do you remember the one drawing I have where it's his brother Brock standing in front of an alligator who looks more like Godzilla? Do you remember this image?
That was a giant splash page, right?
Yeah, it was a giant splash page.
Yeah.
Well, in the story, that character, that alligator, is kind of he's a bad guy to the story that's being told, but in the overall picture of the world, he's not that bad of a guy. He's like a bully. He's like a bully who, in the end, will join the good guys to save the world type of thing, So he's actually going to make an appearance in the end as one of the people that's on the side of the good. But I'm planning on bringing everybody back. And I'm going to kill half of them. That might actually...
Where was that done before? I mean, really? Half of them? With snap of your finger, right?
No. More like every time I describe the overarching arc that we've designed, we kind of base it loosely on the Harry Potter thing. You know how in the Harry Potter books, in the story, in order to defeat the bad guy, he had to find all the Horcrux, and it wasn't until like the 3rd or the 4th movie that did he realize, or 3rd or the 4th book, did he realize that's what he needed to do. And so they spent the rest of the time. Well, Hero finds out in the 2nd book that he needs to find these gifts from the gods, and he's got to find all of his brothers and sisters in order to collect them in order to defeat the bad guy. So it's very much in that line. And Mike and I were talking about the fact that there's 12 gods, 12 primary gods, 12 gifts. And I said to Mike, I said, what happens if he doesn't get them all by the end of the story? What if he's missing one? What if he's missing 2? What if one's lost or one's destroyed or whatever? What kind of kink in the story could that cause? And that is always a possibility. So we're looking forward to it. We're going to build. We're still building. This is only book 3. We plan at least 10 books. It may end up being 15. In the end, who knows? We like telling the story, and we have more story to tell. So. Let me save this real quick.
Yeah,
live stream.
A little bit after 8:30 now.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna wrap it up real quick.
Oh,
all right. Well, I'm gonna say goodbye to our viewers, both you and I. If anybody watches this video later, guys, we don't take ourselves very seriously. We just do this to have a good time. We draw, and we talk and we chit chat and we poke fun at each other. And, there's always the cousins. We can always throw those in and get a laugh for ourselves. But
wow. Does your cousins watch this? I mean,
one of my wife's cousins watched the live stream at one point.
All right,
so
we're not talking about your wife's cousins, we're talking about your direct cousins.
Yeah, I don't know. I have found that my family they're kind of the least likely people to follow what I do on stuff like YouTube because they get me in real life. They don't want to have to follow me in any other fashion. It's like, we just heard that story Sunday night at dinner. We don't want to hear it again on some live stream,
And we saw it on Facebook before you came by.
That's
Sunday.
right. That's right. Oh, it's Jerry. He just chimed in on the chat. That's Jen's cousin. He says he's listening in today.
Hey, Jen's cousin. Thank you for listening in.
That's so funny. That's so funny. Hey, Jerry, how's it going? Anyway, make a long story short, which I can never do. I'm wrapping up now. Thanks to everybody who is watching now and maybe watching later. Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate you being there. Next time, chime in earlier so I can acknowledge that you're there, And if you want, you can come on. I'll send you an invite next time. You can come on and chit-chat, Nobody else is watching. Oh, not too bad, Jerry. Not too bad. One of the things I was telling Avery, one of the things I want to do with this channel, this YouTube channel, it's very for me in the fact that it encourages me to draw and it makes me draw every day. NBA playoffs. Okay, very good. The man after your own heart. Are you watching the NBA playoffs?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I got Batman Ninja ready to watch.
Oh, jeez. I thought you were into basketball.
I don't think there's any games tonight.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, there is a game tonight.
I don't know. I only follow football, and it's only peripherally in most cases. But what I was saying is that the YouTube channel, the live stream, it encourages me to draw and forces me to draw every day. And to be honest with you, if you want to accomplish something, you want to make a book, you want to make a comic, you want to make a story, you absolutely have to do it every single day. And this makes me do it. Boston 76ers is what he says.
Yep, I see it.
Okay.
We also got a home soccer game happening here in the city. Go Atlanta United.
Oh, good God. I can't wait for August. I can't wait for August. We'll get preseason football, and I'll be happy.
Around the corner. Dress on. Got to come on up.
I really don't know if I'm... I already told my wife, I said I haven't committed to any other shows. I haven't even got committed to New York this year. And this is like my 12th year in a row, and it's possible I may skip it, which really sucks because New York's awesome. But I'm not committing to any other shows for the rest of this year. And
I will throw this at you. If not for the show, come on up and we'll have a cheap staycation in Atlanta.
Heck, maybe that might just happen. We'll have to see.
That is a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
And if anything, we could just, we could go crazy and just hit local shops like Targets and Walmarts.
like we did last year. Yeah.
Well, because at that time, now there's no Star Wars movie coming out, but usually that first Friday of September is like Force Friday.
Okay.
So they're just throwing out ideas,
All right, well, no commitments just yet. I don't know what's going on with the job thing, so we'll have to see, but, you know.
Exactly.
All right, Jason, I'm going to wrap up. And, Jerry says, Chiefs are awful, don't bother anymore. I can understand that. Hey, the Jags have gotten better. They've continued to get better. Last year was fantastic. You know, I hate to say it, but if it wasn't for the refs calling every single penalty, the Jags might have beat the Patriots. But the truth of the matter is, there is literally a penalty on every play. It's just whether or not the refs actually see it and call it. But there are penalties on every single play. I swear to God. That's just my philosophy. Jason, you don't follow football, do you?
I do, man.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. That's right. You're big into the fantasy thing, but you don't.
I had Fournette as my running back, and I had the Jaguars defense, #1 defense in the league.
That's right. They did excellent last year, and we're building it. We're going to make it
the final week of, in the playoff on my,
well, by then we were already a lock in the playoffs, so we slacked off those last few games.
Well, and then effing Fournette, didn't do me squat in the finals.
I remember that. You were bitching in my phone over that. Like I was personally responsible, right?
God damn it. I don't want to think about it. The fact that the rookie in our company, the millennial, took first place.
Oh, that's disturbing, man.
I know. Because at the beginning of the season, I'm going to win it.
All right, I'm stopping the broadcast. I got to go to bed. So, Jerry, appreciate you chiming in. We're going to do this again Friday night, 7:30 Eastern time. I don't have to work Saturday, so if it goes long, I don't care. And hopefully I'll have better plans for sketching instead of actually just doing character designs. I'll actually have planned to do something. So, all right, everybody. Appreciate it. Thanks.